Welcome back to STEM Spool, where I am using 3D printed models to explain concepts in science that just make so much more sense when you can see them in 3D. Most of the models from this series are from this book by Joan Horvath. You can grab it and follow along and print these along with me. I've also got some of my own models that I'm posting on MakerWorld for this series. What we're going to talk about today is simple machines. Simple machines are devices that humans have been using for thousands of years to create a mechanical advantage or a force advantage. That means they're reducing the amount of force that it takes to complete a task and make things a little bit easier for all of us. Today we're going to talk about the pulley. The pulley is effectively just an axle and a wheel, and you've got the axle that runs straight through and holds your wheel and everything together. In this case, it's a teeny tiny piece of filament, and your wheel with a groove that you can then run a rope or a chain, or in this case, some craft string on. You can use pulleys either by themselves or in connection with a bunch of other pulleys, and it changes how the force is applied. In a single pulley, when you're pulling on this string to lift the weight, you're not actually reducing the amount of force that it takes to lift that weight. What you're doing is changing the direction that you have to apply that force. Instead of lifting the weight up, you get to pull down, which takes advantage of gravity and is a little bit easier. Then when you have two pulleys connected, you actually are changing the force of that object lifting, and you're cutting it in half. If you add more pulleys, you're cutting it even further. So when I pull on this string, it actually takes about half the force to lift that weight the same distance. The thing is that when you have the two different pulleys here, you're increasing the amount of distance you have to pull. So if I pull this string 5 inches down, I lift that weight 5 inches up. On this double pulley, if I pull this string 5 inches down, I lift that weight about 2.5 inches up. And there's a whole ratio there, that's just a general idea. But what that means is that you're then balancing how much force you're applying versus the distance that you have to travel to get that object moved. People have used both single pulleys and compound pulleys for millennia to get different tasks done based on what they actually do need done. If you look around, I bet you can find a ton of pulleys. One good example is going to a construction site and seeing a crane. Cranes run on pulleys almost entirely. So you can find these in your real world and tell me in the comments what you see.